The Pet Shame Clinic is tackling the nation's most embarrassing pet problems head-on.
And I think we know why he's been in a bit of a strop, because he's a girl.
North Londoner Anna Winstanley was persuaded to take charge of a couple of exotic cuties by her daughters Tina and Jasmine 6 months ago. Anna gave little thought to the fact 5-year-olds Dick Terrapin and Phileas Nigellus were being cast off by her daughter's school chum, or the previous owner's mum's veiled words of warning.
The lady that gave them to us said that I probably would only need to change them out about once a week, and then she muttered, "If you can go that long."
Rather than the hassle-free pets she's hoped for, Anna finds herself in constant battle against a foul, festering tank.
This is my worst part. Oh. I don't like to put my nose over it at all.
But despite her best efforts, these reptiles still have one very antisocial problem.
Take a deep breath.
They stink.
They make me gag when I walk in the room. It's like my living room's got BO, yes, it's got a terrapin odour, TO.
And Anna's regretting her hasty animal adoption.
I didn't know they were going to be such hard work.
Anna's efforts to research her rank reptiles have so far been in vain.
I'm at the end of my tether with the Terrapins now. We looked on the internet and they don't mention smelly. Why do ours smell so much?
So far, Jasmine and Tina have persuaded Mum to persevere with their new pets. But Anna's increasingly tempted to try to palm them off onto yet another owner.
Yes, the axe is poised for their exit if we can't solve this problem.
Can a trip to the Pet Shame Clinic help Terrapins Dick and Phil avoid eviction orders?
You come and sit down. They look absolutely...
And for the second time today, there's nothing for it but a sniff test.
Oh my, they do stink.
They really do stink, don't they?
I actually think that's worse than Rupert's pig breath.
Oh, they're lovely.
Like all terrapins, these two carry the food poisoning bug Salmonella. So I'll be giving my hands a good scrub after this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's Dick.
So tell me, what have you been doing to cope with it?
I burn incense.
Do you?
I open the windows and I apologise to everybody who arrives about the smell. I say, I'm very sorry, I've got very smelly terrapins.
Oh, so is it embarrassing for you when you have guests round?
It's becoming a psychological issue for me, yes, that I'm getting embarrassed when I come in. I have actually threatened the girls, it's either them or me.
Really? What did you two think about that?
We didn't really want Mum to give them away because we really like them. We think they're really sweet.
Oh, they are. They're lovely. Do you two help with clearing them out?
Not really. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, I'm going to pass you on now to Mark, our vet, and fingers crossed we can solve the Terrapin's terrible stench.
Great, thank you.
I really hope Mark's got some answers for this one, because I just don't see how Anna's going to put up with that smell for much longer.
They're a little bit whiffy, aren't they?
They are a bit whiffy.
This is a very, very common problem, smelly terrapins, and it puts a lot of people off having terrapins, but it also means a lot of people abandon them or have them put to sleep or flush them down the toilet or give them up to rescue centres. It's very treatable and it's very easy to treat.
Oh, good.
Mark suspects the problem lies with the environment Dick and Phil are living in.
Tell me about the tank.
Well, their tank is an ordinary glass fish tank. We keep it slightly on an angle, raised up on a brick. They have a light, an ordinary household light. We did read not to have water deeper than the width of their shell, so it's about that deep.
I think first things first, it's too small. It's way too small. You need a large aquarium for them.
There are over 250 species of terrapin and turtle, and some spend more time in the water than others. Webbed feet and a flatter shell show Dick and Phil are aquatic. As well as needing room to swim, they also need to get out of the water to bask.
The slant thing's good, they need a basking area. The house light is good, but you also need a UV light.
A UV light helps to replicate the natural sunlight a terrapin would be exposed to in the wild and keep them healthy. However, this should be on a timer to replicate periods of day and night.
Have you got a filter in the tank?
No.
Okay, so this is the most important point that we've got to so far. The water that terrapins are kept in needs constant filtration.
Any uneaten food and fecal matter in the tank will soon start to rot. The resulting microbes can build up and affect your terrapin. Dick and Phil are already showing signs of their rotten life.
We're a little bit curious about their shells because they've got this sort of funny, flaky stuff.
And they're not only rotting from the outside, the shell, the mouth, but from the inside as well.
Poor things, that's really awful.
Yeah, they're really not having a great time at the moment. So first thing we're going to do is bring the filter in, bring the UV light in, and hopefully no smell.
Find out if the Terrapins get a supersized new home sweet home later.
Ninja, no biting.
9-month-old Ninja is driving her owner to despair with vicious displays of biting and clawing. She's already sunk her teeth into house guests and vets. Come on. Pet Shame vet Mark diagnosed behavioural aggression and a lack of controlling techniques from Vicky. Vicky's been following Mark's advice to only feed Ninja as a reward for good behaviour for the last 2 weeks. Today, it's time to move things forward as Mark pays a home visit with cat behaviour advisor, Sarah Fisher.
She's a phenomenal cat behavioural expert. She's one of the best, and I can't wait to see what she comes up with.
Sarah starts by reading Ninja's body language.
Rigid tail, absolutely stiff as a board. Also, she's pacing, which means that the front leg and the back leg are moving in the same direction as each other.
These signs indicate that Ninja's on the defensive.
I can't wait to go and actually try and get my hands on.
These aren't martial art fight sticks, but a way of Sarah assessing Ninja's attack reflex.
So just stroking her from a distance enables me to watch her interaction, because she's going to do to this what she's going to do to someone's hand.
Sarah believes Ninja's clawing and biting is a result of contact with certain trigger points.
All animals that have behavioural issues, or the majority of them, have sensitive parts of the body that they don't like contact on.
It soon becomes clear to Sarah's expert eye that Ninja's key triggers are located on her back.
Look, see the rippling start through her coat and the tail's swishing more now that I'm touching her on the back. There we go.
Wow.
With the trigger points identified, Sarah now uses her expertise to attempt to break the cycle of defensive-aggressive response.
So this isn't about flooding the nervous system and just keep going until she stops. This is just saying, well, I'm just going to stroke you for a little bit, and then I'm going to stop. So your biting and all your stress responses aren't actually getting anywhere. I'm not going to pin you down and force hand contact upon you, because that would be very threatening to her, and she would quite rightly escalate her behaviour. I'm going to just let her process that and let her walk around a bit, and then I'll just do a little bit more, and it's a really nice way of introducing contact from a very, very safe distance.
Clawing and biting are a natural part of play behaviour for hunters like cats. But Ninja needs something safer than human flesh to practice her killer moves.
What I want you to do, as well as all the stroking, is if you suddenly see her eye change, her body language change, like, here we go, get the game, you'll probably need several toys. Yeah. Say, here's your toy. That's what you redirect onto, please, Mrs. Okay. Ninja.
With Ninja's attention focused on the toy, Sarah touches her trigger points again and gets a far more subdued response.
Oh, good girl. That's very nice. Now that is lovely.
But will the new approach have put a stop to Ninja's fighting ways when they return to the clinic in less than 2 weeks' time? Also coming up, a big dog with an even bigger irritation, and we tackle more pet shames in the problem gallery.
I think I would prefer the neighbour's pants than a dead mouse.
They do look like nice pants.